This is the Dog Walk Chronicles. It is Halloween, All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, the vigil of. Tomorrow is All Saints Day. This is the evening before the holiday. I just had some thoughts. I was reading about Islam and their opinion of the Jews, and I read one from the Muslims which said, oh, we love the Jews. And then I read another source, which was a Jewish source, and it literally took the Quran or the Surah, called the Torga. I don't know if that's the translation of the Surah. I guess the Quran would be equivalent to the Bible, and the Surah would be equivalent to the Catechism. But what I think people should go to the source. And this comes to another point about people saying Christianity or Judaism or this or that had something that happened in its name. But what is the teaching? Because my question, so when something happens bad, it's not necessarily what the religion teaches. It may be, it may not be. When something bad happens. I guess what I'm saying is, where you need to go to the source. If you're saying something, if you think something that the Catholic Church has done wrong, then one, look at the teaching. Does it say to do that? And two, was it a particular man or group of men or a particular time of history where the church did something that it wasn't teaching? It did something it shouldn't have done. Or a man, because men sin, women sin. So the church teaches not to commit adultery, but people commit adultery. And if a Catholic commits adultery, that doesn't mean that it's the church's fault for that. So I guess things I'm thinking of is, how is it that the Muslims think of Jesus as a prophet, when to the Jews, a prophet to the Jews can only be Jewish? Jesus was a Jew, so he could be a prophet, but Muhammad could never be a prophet to the Jews. It's not how their religion works. The Muslims have a high reverence for Jesus as a prophet, but do they listen to his teachings from the source of the Bible and the understanding of Jesus for the last 2,000 years, or when Islam was started for the first 600 years? Do they listen to that? It's my understanding that Muhammad heard the teachings of Jews, and because he was a trader, so people, Jewish traders, Christian traders would come through. But I hear he heard a lot of heretical Christians. So he got ideas, Christian ideas and Jewish ideas, but he got poorly trained concepts of Christianity. So, of course, his religion, quote, ends up being an amalgam of those two religions. And I think there was another one. He had some other source that sort of turned into Islam. So if Jesus says he's God, and in essence he did, he showed it in every way, and then the Muslims say that he can't be God, then why revere him? So that's what I don't understand for that instance. Somewhere it says something about what was it? It says in the either the Quran or the Surah that a Muslim can't be friends with a Christian or a Jew. But I can be friends with a Muslim in my religion, or a Jew, or an atheist, or anyone else. I'm supposed to. In fact, I'm supposed to love them. Doesn't mean I have to agree with their religion. And just because I think that their religion is not compatible with Christianity, and since I'm putting my whole force into believing Christianity from what I've looked into, seems like the most logical religion to be likely to be true and to the true God, then, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, those are just some thoughts. There was another thing I read in the Torah, the Surah. It went straight down. I got to about, I guess, verse 6 or chapter 6. I don't know how they... there was something else that was concerning right from the beginning. Well, it called us pigs and swine or something in there. But anyway, okay, so that's enough. Get your sources from... I think you should get your sources straight from... If you want to know what Islam teaches, find out read what it teaches. Oh my gosh. And go to a source of a Jewish source if you want to know that. And if you want to know what Catholics do and say, or do and are taught, go to a Catholic source. Okay. So, today on All Saints Day, so what did it say? There was a verse where it said, anyway, okay, so yeah, I keep coming back to this question: why do so many people hate the Jews? And so I was trying to look and see what Islam teaches about the Jews, and so I went to an Islamic source and read these things, and some of them were kind of, it would tell you one thing, like you're supposed to love everybody, but then but sort of not the people who don't believe what you believe. So everyone's supposed to be Muslim, so you're supposed to love everyone who's Muslim. But if they don't believe, if we, the Christians, the people of the book, the Jews, refuse to believe in Islam, then we're to be, shunned and our fate is sealed, according to them. So it's really not love everyone. It's only love your own religion. And that's what it says in the Surah. So as a religion of peace, that would kind of preclude that. Because if you read it, it's some pretty incendiary thoughts they have towards the Christians and the Jews and those who refuse to believe. So, on All Saints Day, pray for all the dead, because we don't know if they're in heaven or hell. And if they're still waiting in purgatory, they need your prayers. So do that.